Welcome back out to Joliet and Route 66 Stadium, where the St. Francis Fighting Saints will try to make this a clean sweep against Trinity Christian College. Terry Bonadonna with you once again for the play-by-play of today's game. St. Francis defeated Trinity Christian 2-0 in Game 1 behind a complete game shutout from Kevin Mampy, and now here we are getting set to start Game 2. Let's look at the starters. For Trinity, Chris Baker once again leads off playing center field. Batting second, right fielder Tyler Strozinski. Kyle Kolb hits third at shortstop. The second baseman and cleanup batter is Austin Wood. Alex Nisley plays third base. Jake Thull bats sixth. He's the designated hitter. Sam Herzog is at first base. John Roberts bats eighth and does the catching. And hitting ninth, left fielder Morgan Nowitzki. The starting pitcher for Trinity Christian College here in game number 2 is Clay DeHaan. Starting pitcher for the Fighting Saints is right-hander Tom Jeffries. I'll give you the rest of the lineup in just a moment, but we're ready to get going. And Tom Jeffries' first pitch is over for strike one on Chris Baker. We have begun at 3:01 p.m. Central Daylight Time. 0-1 on Chris Baker. Had one hit in Game 1. He takes a strike here, and it's 0-2. Baker struck out in his first two at-bats against Kevin Mampy, singled his third time up, and grounded out to first base to end the game. So he technically gets to bat twice in a row. He ended the last game and is beginning this one, even though there was a half-hour break in between. Ball downstairs, 1-2 the count on Baker. Chris Baker, .333 hitter coming into play today. Pops it foul and out of play to the left side, still 1-2. He was still at exactly .333 at 1 for 3 in the last game, and then he ended up grounding out to first base in his final at-bat. So slightly below that number now. 1-2 is the count. Jeffries stares in at the catcher, gets the sign and sets. Baker pops it up, foul and out of play. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Tom Jeffries is making his 7th start of the year. It's his 8th appearance overall. Senior right-hander is 2-0 with a .585 ERA. Another 1-2. Another foul ball. Jeffries this season has one complete game, 32 1/3 innings total. He's allowed 25 runs, 21 of them earned on 36 hits, 13 strikeouts, 16 walks. Opponents are batting .281 against him for the year. Another 1-2 pitch. Grounded fair territory this time at the second baseman. Picked up by Mampy, who throws over to first and gets the out. That is St. Francis second baseman John Peterson on that play. Peterson throws over to Farron for out number 1. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for St. Francis today. Travis Schoonover leads off playing right field. Sean Harper in left, bats second. Pat Mahalik is in center field. That ball's ripped out to left field. That's going to drop foul for strike 1. The count is 0-1 on Tyler Strozinski. Cleanup hitter for St. Francis is shortstop Kevin Mampy. Anthony Farron hits 5th at first base. Michael Quirum is the third baseman. Kevin Rada once again behind the plate. John Peterson bats 8th and plays second base. And hitting 9th, the designated hitter, Nick Dabrowski. Ball 1 to even the count. 1-1 on Tyler Strozinski. 1 for 3 with a single in Game 1. Hard ground ball, this time inside the line, just fair down into the left field corner. Extra bases here for Strozinski. He's into second base easily, a stand-up double. And Trinity Christian has their first base runner of the game. And for Strozinski, that is double number 23 this year. This is a team that entered play averaging nearly 3 doubles per game as a team. And they averaged about 4 extra base hits in total per game. They had just 1 in Game 1. It was a second inning double for Sam Herzog, who's only got 3 of them all year. So it was a weird first game in some ways for Trinity Christian, as the first pitch to Kyle Kolb misses inside for ball 1. But Strozinski's 23 doubles, among the best in NAIA. Entered play today 4th in the nation. The man in the box right now, Kyle Kolb, is 3rd nationally in hits for the season. Saints keeping a close eye on Strozinski, who's got 37 stolen bases this year. Taking a good lead away from second. Pitch. Finds the outside corner for a strike. 1-1. Game 1 was an interesting one. Very different from yesterday's contest between these two teams. 21-15 was the score in that game. 2-0 the score in Game 1 today. Jeffries steps off the rubber for a second time as Strozinski continues to toy with him over at second base. John Peterson has been standing very near the bag, leaving a huge hole on the right side of the infield. That ball's popped up, fouling out of play. 1-2. Peterson is watching the runner very closely at second base. Strozinski, 37 steals. He's been caught only 4 times all year. 1 out, 1 on, no score. It's 1-2 on Kyle Kolb. And he fouls it away. Game 1 today featured only 13 combined hits. 12 of the 13 were singles. There were not any walks for either team in that Game 1 contest either. Extremely well pitched. About an hour and a half is what it took to play 7 innings. Ball in the dirt. Nice block by Kevin Rada. He'll throw down to second base to check on Strozinski, who makes it back to the bag safely. Strozinski was maybe 35 feet down the line from second to third as that ball hit the dirt, but wisely did not try for third base as Kevin Rada stuck with it the entire way. Here's the 2-2 to Kolb. Fly ball out to left field. Sean Harper backs up and makes the catch. 2 away. Strozinski returns to second base. And the batter will be Austin Wood, the second baseman. Hard hit ball there by Kyle Kolb, but right at Harper, who barely had to move for it. Austin Wood trying to pick up an RBI here. He's done that pretty well this year. 36 times this season he's knocked in a run. Runner goes, pitch is low for a ball, throw to third base, in time for out number 3. Just the 5th time this year Strozinski has been caught stealing, but he is the final out in the top of the first. Nice work by Tom Jeffries. Led to the bottom of the inning. Saints coming to bat in a scoreless tie. Trolls got a double, but a caught stealing ended the top half of the first. No runs. Now the Saints come to bat for the first time. Schoonover, Harper, Mahalik do up. Mampy, Farron, Quirum, Rada, Peterson, Dabrowski make up the rest of the lineup, facing Trinity Christian right-hander Clay DeHaan. Starting for the 6th time, it's his 13th appearance overall. He's 2-2 with a .555 ERA. His first pitch to Travis Schoonover misses for ball 1. DeHaan this year has thrown 35 2/3 innings. He's allowed 26 runs, 22 of them earned on 41 hits as Schoonover floats that ball out to shallow center field. Baker comes on for it, slides, and makes the catch. Baker slightly misjudged that ball. Came in a little bit softly for it. And at the last second realized it was a little bit more shallow than he thought it would be. Had to turn on the jets and make the slide. 1 up, 1 down. Rest of those numbers on Dahan in 35 2/3 innings. He's now 36 innings. He's got 29 strikeouts, 15 walks, and an opponent's average of 285. His first pitch to Sean Harper is in there for strike 1. Harper's a 273 hitter. Swings at this pitch and grounds it right at the third baseman. Nisley fires to first. 2 down. Just the second at bat of the day for Sean Harper. He did not start game 1. Brandon Lysak-Talley did. Harper later came off the bench and went 0 for 1. As he is here so far in game 2. On just 4 pitches, Dahan has 2 outs, and now he faces Pat Mahalik. Mahalik had the best offensive game of any Saint game 1. He takes a ball outside. He went 2 for 3. A couple of singles, one of them on a bunt. Perfect bunt to the right side. Ball downstairs, 2-0. Well, the rest of the team combined for just 4 hits, and they came pretty much in a row. 3 in a row, then a fielder's choice, and then the 4th hit. Ball high, 3-0 on Mahalik. And that's how they got their 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th with those 4 hits in 1 inning. There's ball 4 high. 4-pitch walk to Pat Mahalik, and it takes all of 3 batters in the bottom of the 1st here in game 2 to see our first base on balls today. Neither team issued a walk in the first game. Both pitchers went the distance, so I could just as easily say neither pitcher issued a walk, but awfully impressive from the 2 starters in game 1. Kevin Mampy and Richard Yelnick. Mampy takes strike 1. Dahan walks Mahalik here in the 1st inning of the 2nd game. Mahalik's at first right now. 0-1 on Kevin Mampy. 322 hitter with 6 homers and 39 RBIs. Mampy checks his swing and fouls it off to the right side. Count is 0-2. Kevin Mampy in the 1st game did not reach base. He went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, but made up for that with an excellent game on the mound. Complete game shutout, his 2nd of the year. Runner goes, the pitch is swung on and flown out to deep right field. Srozinski backs up to the warning track, and as he reaches the corner, he makes the catch, just barely in fair territory. Nice play by Srozinski. Mampy is retired, as are the rest of the Saints. 2-out walk is the closest thing to any offense that the Saints come up with in the 1st. We head to the 2nd, 0-0. Top 2 here in Joliet. St. Francis and Trinity Christian each had 1 base runner in the 1st inning. Neither team scored. 4, 5, and 6 to up for Trinity here in the 2nd inning. Austin Wood starts things off. Very impressive second baseman for the Trinity Christian Trolls. Wood takes the first pitch, outside corner for strike 1. Wood was in the batter's box when Tyler Srozinski was caught trying to steal third base to end last inning. So officially it's his first at bat. Second time he's been able to stand in there as he grounds one over to short. Easy play for Mampy. Throws to first base and gets the out. 1 up, 1 down here in the second inning for Tom Jeffries. Jeffries, one of the 8 seniors on the roster, getting a chance to make his final start here in this ballpark. An interesting day for the seniors just because it is their final chance to start here at home. And there's one more home game on Tuesday against St. Ambrose. For these pitchers, their last chance to get a start at home. Swung on and missed, strike 1 on Nisley. It's their last chance to play in this field on a park that most of these guys have played in for 4 years. Bunted down the third base line, rolling towards the foul line, but it's going to stay fair. Bunt single for Alex Nisley. He hugged the line there. Quirum let it go, thinking he was going to roll foul, but it seemed to just stop on top of the foul line and just hold there. And perfectly placed from Alex Nisley as he ends up with a 1-out bunt single. So 1 on with 1 out, and now Jake Thole will bat. Catcher in game 1. He's the DH here in the second game. Thole swings to the first pitch, grounds it to Quirum at third. Throw to second. He gets the force there. Relay throw is in time. Double play around the horn, 5-4 to 3. And the inning comes to a close. Turns out to be a very quick inning despite the base hit. Trinity does not score, and we'll head to the bottom of the second inning, 0-0. Anthony Farron leads off the bottom of the second inning for St. Francis, and he takes first pitch strike over the outside corner. 4, 5, and 6-2 up. Farron, Quirum, and Rada against Clay Dahan, a quick worker. Gets Farron to bounce it over to third base. Charging to make the play is Nisley. He throws to first and retires Farron. 1 down. To finish the point I was making in the last inning, it is senior day today. We're honoring the 8 seniors. Tom Jeffries, who's starting pitcher in this game. Mitch Zach, Brandon Lysak-Talley, Kevin Mampy, Nick Dabrowski, Matt Kramer, Pat Mahalik, and Tom Smith. And for a lot of them, they've played here in this ballpark for 4 years, but this is the first time they've actually gotten a game in here this year because of the construction to the field. The natural grass was replaced by this artificial surface. Quirum stands in and takes strike 1. Michael Quirum, starting pitcher about once a week, but he's in the infield today, swinging a miss, 0-2 after he started yesterday's game. Played shortstop in game 1 today. He's at third base here in game 2. The 0-2 offering. Poked foul to the right side, still 0-2. Game 1, Quirum went 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. He was the first one to come up with a hit in the 5th inning. They ended up with 2 runs on 4 hits in that inning. No runs on 2 hits the rest of the game combined. Fouled away to the right side, out of play. It's still 0-2 on Quirum. 1 out, nobody on base. Dahan right back atop the rubber, ready to go. Line to first base where it's caught by Sam Herzog. 2 down. Guerum goes the other way with it. But Herzog waiting right on the spot to make the grab. Solid liner, but he's out number 2. And Kevin Rada will try to keep the inning going after 2 quick outs have been recorded. St. Francis trying to win their 3rd straight game today over Trinity Christian. Saints going into the conference tournament next weekend on a bit of a hot run. There's a pop-up to the right side, foul, and out of play onto the dugout down that first base line. As of now, they've won 6 of their last 7 games, trying to make it 7 of 8 here. So they've improved from 12 and 9 in conference, all the way to 18 and 10. They'll put themselves in position to maybe even get the 2 seed in the conference tournament next week. Grounded foul to the left side, 0-2. That's crazy. Last time they played at home was a week ago. At the time, they were in 6th place in the conference. Now they're in 2nd. That's how tight things are. Foul back, still 0-2. And when they're that tight, any team can win 3 or 4 in a row and just shoot up the standings. That's what St. Francis has done. Robert Morris, Trinity Christian, Roosevelt, St. Xavier, and St. Francis entered play today, all at 17 and 10. Grounder up the middle and through. A base hit for Kevin Rada. It hit off the top of the mound. Trickled out to center field. Austin Wood made a run for it, but the second baseman could not make the backhanded stop. Rada is aboard, a 2-out base runner in front of John Peterson. Trinity Christian's playing some good baseball of late, too. They had won 5 consecutive games prior to yesterday, but now they've lost 2 in a row, both against the Fighting Saints. Peterson getting his first at bat here in game 2. Swings the first pitch and fouls it away. John Peterson went 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. So he was part of both of the runs in that 2-0 game 1 victory. Tahan takes a long look in at Roberts. He's set for the 0-1. Fly ball out to center field. Baker chases it back. Baker still on the move, is able to run it down and make the grab. Peterson hits it well, but Baker all over it to end the inning. 2-out single from Kevin Rada is all St. Francis can manage in the second. We've played 2 with 7 still to go. No score in Joliet. Top of the 3rd inning, St. Francis and Trinity Christian off to a slow offensive start once again. They went into the 5th inning before anybody scored in game 1. Here we are in the 3rd with goose eggs on the board here in game 2. And the first pitch to Sam Herzog breaks into the zone for strike 1. Herzog, Roberts, and Nowitzki, the bottom 3rd of the Trinity order due up. Next pitch from Jeffries is popped up, foul to the left side. Looks like it'll reach the seats, and it will. Trinity Christian does have 2 hits through 2 innings, but Jeffries has faced the minimum. Strozinski doubled in the 1st inning, was caught trying to steal 3rd. Alex Nisley singled in the 2nd, but was erased on a double play. So just 6 batters have come to the plate. 2 of them have reached, but all of them ultimately have been retired, either as batters or as base runners. Ball high on Herzog, 1-2. Kevin Rada thought they had strike 3 there. If not by a pitch in the zone, then perhaps by a swing. But a little bit high, according to the home plate umpire, and he did not go around. This one well out of the zone in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Sam Herzog, who entered play today hitting .206 for the year in just 34 at-bats. He had a double and went 1 for 3 in game 1. This ball is knocked out to left center field for a base hit. Herzog is aboard once again. He's got 2 hits now as part of the twin bill, and a leadoff single here in the 3rd inning. First leadoff base runner for either team in this game. We'll see if Trinity can turn it into at least 1 run. They've got John Roberts standing in. Roberts, the catcher, DH'd game 1, went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, getting his first at bat here in game 2. Squares up to bunt, gets it down, back towards the pitcher, picked up by the third baseman Quirum, who gets the out at first base. Herzog advances to second. It's a successful sacrifice, 5-3. Pretty good bunt right between the pitcher's mound and home plate. Quirum ended up flying in to pick that ball up right in front of Tom Jeffries. Throw out the batter at first base, and now it's up to Morgan Nowitzki trying to get him in from second. Nowitzki swings at the first pitch and pops it up on the infield left side. The shortstop Mampy is under it. With 1 foot on the outfield grass, he makes the grab. An easy play for Mampy. A major league pop out for Morgan Nowitzki, who is the second out of the inning. With a runner at second base, now Jeffries is just 1 out away from getting out of the 3rd. Leadoff single from Herzog so far has not taken him anywhere. Baker can change that. Chris Baker is 0 for 1 with a ground out. First pitch from Jeffries, in there for a strike. Baker, who's a .333 hitter, is just 1 for 5 so far in the doubleheader. Jeffries sets for the next pitch. It misses the outside corner, and the count is even. 3 hits now for Trinity, just 1 for St. Francis, but their number is the same in the most important column. Nothing our score. There's a ball outside, 2-1. If Baker reaches, Rosinski bats next. Chris Baker this season is a .436 on base percentage. So there's a pretty good chance he will reach here as he takes a ball inside, 3-1. Very patient batter in the box. Hasn't seen anything he's liked so far in this at-bat. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Baker lines it up the middle, a base hit. This will score Sam Herzog. Baker hard turnaround first base, but he'll stay put. It's an RBI single, and Trinity Christian is on the board for the first time in the doubleheader. It's taken them into the 10th total inning, but they do strike first here in game 2. RBI 2-out single from Chris Baker. RBI number 33 this season. The sacrifice bunt ends up paying dividends, as Herzog obviously would not have been able to score from first base on that play. Tyler Srozinski takes ball 1 outside. Srozinski is 1 for 1 with a double in this game. Trying to make some solid contact again, maybe bring Chris Baker around from first base. He hits it high in the air, but shallow into right field, towards the line, Schoonover into foul territory, has room, and makes the catch near the bullpen. The inning is over, but a run scores on 2 hits, and a man is left at first. We will head into the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1-0, Trinity Christian. Nick Dabrowski gets his first at bat of the day as we begin the bottom of the third inning. 9-1-2 slated to bat for St. Francis against Clay DeHaan of Trinity Christian, and DeHaan has the 1-0 lead. Dabrowski takes ball one outside. 12th start of the season for the senior Dabrowski. He's batting .325, 13 for 40 this year, 4 doubles, 11 RBIs. Takes a strike over the outside corner, 1-1. Schoonover and Harper scheduled to bat after Dabrowski. There's a swing and a fly ball out to shallow center. Baker takes a step back and now comes in a few paces and makes the grab. Very sunny afternoon here in Joliet today. Clouds have kind of disappeared from the area as well, so there really is no respite from the sun. Baker really had to shield his eyes right there to see that ball, but he was able to make the grab without incident. So 1 out, nobody on. Schoonover swings at the first pitch and pops it foul out of play to the left. 0-1 on Schoonover, who flew out to center field his first time up. There's a ground ball to the right side. Moving to his left, second baseman Austin Wood picks it up, fires to first, and retires Schoonover, who is 0 for 2 now. 2 base runners so far in the game for St. Francis. Pat Mahalik walked back in the first. Kevin Rada singled in the second. For the most part, this game has belonged to Clay DeHaan so far, but we're early. As Sean Harper gets his second at bat, 0 for 1 to the ground out. Harper swings to the first pitch and pops it out of play. Strike 1. Sean Harper 0 for 1 in the game, 0 for 2 on the day so far. Grounded to third base. Up with it, Alex Nisley throws across and gets the out. The inning is over. 1-2-3 go the Saints, and it's a perfect inning for Clay DeHaan on just 7 pitches. We'll head to the 4th. Good start for Trinity Christian. They lead 1-0. Kyle Kolb is the batter as we start the top of the 4th inning. Kolb, Wood, and Nisley due to hit against Tom Jeffries, who's pitched pretty well through 3 innings, but currently trails 1-0. First pitch from Jeffries misses for ball 1. Tom Jeffries starting for the second time this week. He pitched 7 innings in a win against Trinity International on Tuesday. Ball high, 2-0. So he's going on just 3 days rest after throwing over 100 pitches his last time out. But he's looked effective so far. Fouled away. Still, we'll monitor throughout the game, see how he looks like he's feeling. We may see an earlier call to the bullpen than would be customary for Jeffries, even if he is pitching well. Ground ball to second. Peterson gloves it, throws to first, and there's your first out. Leadoff batter retired for the 3rd time in 4 innings. The only time the leadoff man wasn't retired was the third. Sam Herzog picked up a single to begin the inning, moved up to second base and scored with 2 outs on an RBI single from Chris Baker. That's the difference in the game, that 2-out RBI hit. Austin Wood takes the first pitch high, ball 1. Saints took the first game today 2-0. Trolls trying to get the revenge right here. Trinity Christian needs this one to stay even with St. Francis in the conference standings with just 1 game to play. Strike call, a breaking ball over the inside corner. The count is 1-1. Austin Wood grounded out to the shortstop when he led off the second inning. He was also in the box back in the first when Tyler Strozinski was caught stealing to end that inning. Ball outside, it's 2-1. Alex Nisley waits on deck. Two 1 pitch. Poked out to right field, but right at Travis Schoonover. 2 down. Wood just pushed it the other way. Schoonover didn't have to take a step. Right to him for the second out of the inning. 3 in a row retired by Jeffries. That's a game high for him. See if he can make it 4 in a row and come up with his first perfect inning here against Nisley. Alex Nisley is 1 for 1 with a bunt single back in the second. He was later erased on a double play. Strike 1 call. Mike Quirum is cognizant of that bunt attempt back in the second inning. He came in at third base. He's starting to creep in again here with this pitch. Grounded to short. Kevin Mampy up with it. He throws to first. Low throw, but Farron digs it out and the inning is over. 1-2-3 inning worked by Jeffries, his first of the day. Now we've got another pitcher's duel developing here as we head to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Trolls. Pat Mahalik is the batter to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0, Trinity Christian leads St. Francis, and Mahalik knocks the first pitch foul and out of play to the left side. Mahalik is one of only 2 base runners for the Saints in this game. He walked back in the first inning. We've played 10 total innings now. I guess 9 innings of offense for the Saints as part of the doubleheader. Mahalik takes the ball outside. They did not bat in the bottom of the 7th in game 1 because they already had the lead. So let's say 9 innings total. St. Francis has 7 hits, and they've had 8 total base runners during that time. As that ball is popped out to shallow right center, Baker comes on to make the catch. There's the first out. Of the 9 total base runners that eight total base runners that St. Francis has accrued in the first 9+ innings. Pat Mahalik's been on 3 times. So he's had a nice day at the plate, but he flies out to start this inning. That's 5 straight retired by Clay DeHaan. Kevin Mampy will try to break that string. He takes the ball inside. Mampy 0 for 4 in the doubleheader. He's 0 for 1 in the game. Flew out to right field in the first inning. He pops this ball up to the right side. Foul. It may stay playable. It won't. Lands about the fifth row up. 1-1 on Mampy. Sam Herzog, the first baseman, returns to his position. Entire field still in the sun here. Mampy drills it foul to the left side. 1-2. So around the time that the shadows start creeping in, you can tell they've already started creeping in to the crowd on the third base side because they were scattered around behind that St. Francis dugout earlier in the game. As Mampy takes ball 2 to even the count. And now pretty much everybody has moved down to the first couple of rows or just beyond the dugout where the sun is still shining. One of those cool spring days where it's very pleasant in the sun, but not so comfortable in the shade. Ball low, 3-2. So everybody's seeking out those sunspots in the crowd. As I said, the field is still totally in sunlight. That probably won't last too much longer. Grounded foul to the left side, still 3-2. That first game flew by so quickly in just an hour and a half that it was beneficial to the hitters here in game 2 that they get more time in the sun. Typically those shadows start creeping in. They get between the pitcher's mound and home plate and it becomes very difficult to hit. Kevin Mampy takes ball 4 high. Good at bat for the senior shortstop. Second walk issued today by Clay DeHaan. Snaps a string of 5 straight retired, and the tying run is aboard with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Typically you figure a 7-inning game is going to go closer to 2 hours. Today's lasted only an hour and a half. Just kind of moved everything up a little bit. Instead of starting at 3:30 for game 2, you start at 3 o'clock. You still probably have another hour of play before those shadows really start creeping in and making a difference. Right now, everyone down on the field, I think, feeling pretty comfortable with the weather. Pitchers more so than hitters still because of the breeze blowing in from center field. I don't think we've seen it play a huge impact on the game today, but it is a pitcher's day. It's fair and grounds it to short. Picked up by Cole, throws to second for 1, over to first base, a half step ahead of Farron for the double play, 6-4-3. Very nicely turned by the Trolls, and the inning is over. We'll head to the 5th as the Saints, another 0 on the scoreboard. It's 1-0. Trinity Christian has the lead. We've played 4, just 1-0 our score right now. Pitchers have dominated today's doubleheader. St. Francis won game 1 2-0. They trail here in the second game as Jake Thole takes strike 1 from Tom Jeffries. Jeffries on 3 days rest has looked sharp today through 4 innings. He's allowed 4 hits, just 1 run. He's retired the last 4 men that he's faced. Thole takes the ball up and away, 1-1. Trinity's catcher turned DH in this game is 0 for 1, grounded into a 5-4-3 second inning ending double play. He hits this ball in the air, but relatively shallow left field. Sean Harper is under it. Harper makes the grab, 2 down, or 1 down rather. It was the first batter of the inning. That would have been an impressive trick. Here's Sam Herzog.
First baseman, Sam Herzog.
Herzog is 1 for 1. Singled and scored in the 3rd inning. The only run of the game so far was a leadoff single. He was bunted to second base, stood there with 2 outs before the big hit from Chris Baker got the run in. There's a ball up and in, 1-0. Kevin Mampey started game 1, went the distance. Complete game shutout. It was only the 2nd time all season that Trinity Christian has been shut out in 47 games. 2-0 on Herzog, or 1-1 rather. Now he takes the ball. It's 2-1. It's an offense that scores over 7 runs per game, but so far the Saints pitchers have done a good job keeping it in check. It's a ground ball to second. Peterson has it. He throws out Herzog at first base. Now there are 2 outs. .343 team batting average and just about 7.5 runs per game for Trinity Christian coming in. And they have been held so far to 10 hits over 11 2/3 innings and just 1 run in the doubleheader. Strike over the outside edge of the plate. 0-1 on Roberts. John Roberts dropped down what turned out to be a very important sacrifice bunt back in the 3rd inning. Only time up in this game. Pops this one sky high right at the plate. Kevin Rada is under. The catcher in foul territory makes the grab, and it's another quick 1-2-3 inning. 7 in a row retired by St. Francis. And we've played half a baseball game here with our score. Trinity Christian 1, St. Francis nothing. Both pitchers in this game, too, have been great today. But we'll see if St. Francis can get their offense going here in the 5th inning. Trailing 1-0, Michael Queerum swings at the first pitch of the inning and knocks it back up the box for a base hit. Solid single out to center field for Queerum. He's 1 for 2 in the game. And the leadoff man reaches for St. Francis. First hit since Kevin Rada's single in the 2nd inning. It's only the 2nd hit of the game for the Fighting Saints. Here's Kevin Rada. Rada is 1 for 1 with a base hit in the 2nd. I think I just mentioned it. All the more relevant now that he's in the box. He takes the first pitch over the outside corner for strike 1. Alex Nisley in at 3rd base, expecting the bunt from Rada here. That would put the tying run in scoring position if he could get one down. Rada, though, has not sacrificed himself yet this year. Trying to this time, looks like he'll get it done. Bunted back towards the pitcher on the right side of the field. Picked up by DeHaan. He tosses to first and makes the out. 1-3 on the sacrifice. Rada's first of the year. Queerum up to second base, so the tying run is in scoring position. First man that the Saints have gotten to second base in the game. So it does get the runner in the scoring position, but it sets up the bottom of the order for St. Francis. So we'll see if Peterson and Dabrowski can make something happen here against DeHaan. He handled both of them with flyouts to center field, first time through the batting order. First pitch to Peterson is popped foul and out of play, strike one. John Peterson was maybe the key offensive performer in game one. He had only one hit, but it was ultimately the game winner, an RBI single in the fifth. And he later scored an insurance run that same inning. Saints won that game 2-0. Ball outside, 1-1. Peterson, freshman infielder from St. Lawrence High School in Burbank. Lines it out to right field. That's a base hit for Peterson. Quira makes it to third, and he rounds third, coming in to score. No throw. We're tied at 1. Peterson comes through again. Singles for Quirum and Peterson, and it's a brand new ball game here in the fifth. Still only one out in the inning. Nick Dabrowski will try to give the Saints their first lead of the ball game. We're in the bottom of the fifth, and the Saints have answered Trinity Christian's third inning run. 1-1 the score. Runner at first, one out. Dabrowski is 0 for 1. Flew out to center field in the third. He bunts, third base side, charging is Nisley. He gloves it, throws to first in time to get him by a step. Nicely done by Nisley. Good bunt by Dabrowski, trying to get on base with that one. Couldn't come up with the bunt hit, but he does get the runner over. So all things considered, not a bad result for Dabrowski right there. Back to the top of the order, and Travis Schoonover. Schoonover had a huge day at the plate yesterday when St. Francis scored 17 runs over the final 2 innings to beat Trinity Christian 21-15. Strike one over the inside corner. Here today, he's got just one hit. That was back in game 1. He's 0 for 2 in this game with a flyout and a groundout. Go-ahead run over at second base with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 0-1 to Schoonover. In the dirt for a ball. Throw down to second base. Nearly sailed into center. Kyle Kolb showing off his jumping abilities. He leaps to keep that ball from reaching center field. But Peterson easily dives back into the bag. 1-1 on Schoonover. 5th batter of the inning. Hard grounder, right side. Fielding it in shallow right field is Austin Wood. He throws it away to first base. Peterson comes in to score. It's 2-1 St. Francis. It was an odd play with the first baseman Sam Herzog initially going after the ball. It was out of his reach. Austin Wood had to go about 10 to 15 feet deep in right field to glove that one. So the pitcher, DeHaan, went to cover first base. He was a little bit late getting over, but really didn't matter because the throw was very wild, easily allowing Schoonover to be safe at first. As Sean Harper stands in and takes strike one. But when the throw got past DeHaan, the only man there to back it up was the catcher, John Roberts. That left home plate wide open, and Peterson easily scored. Liner out to left, diving play by Nowitzki, and he ends the inning. Great effort by Nowitzki there to put away Harper and the Saints in the 5th, but not before 2 runs score. They leave a man at first base after Travis Schoonover brings home John Peterson to give the Saints their first advantage of the game. We'll head to the 6th, 2-1 St. Francis. 4 innings to go as part of this doubleheader, and the Saints have the lead as they try to take them both. First pitch to Morgan Nowitzki, bunted back to the pitcher. Jeffries fires to first in time. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 6th. Nowitzki trying to bunt his way aboard. Didn't get it quite close enough to the line. It was on the third base side, but close enough that the pitcher was able to make the play. And Jeffries throws him out by about a half a step. So Nowitzki is retired, 1 down in the 6th, and back to the top of the order, Chris Baker. And Baker takes first pitch for ball 1 high. Chris Baker is 1 for 2. His single in the 3rd brought home a run, the only RBI hit of the day for Trinity. Ball outside, 2-0. Saints have outscored the Trolls as part of the doubleheader today, 4-1. We've seen 2 excellent pitchers' duels so far. Ball inside, strike over the inside corner, 2-1. All of the Saints runs today have come in the 5th inning. They scored 2 in the bottom of the 5th in game 1 as part of a 2-0 win. Scored 2 in the 5th inning here in game 2 and are up 2-1. Baker pops it into shallow left. Harper comes in on it. Harper makes the catch, 2 away. Baker now 1 for 3 in the game. And the batter's Tyler Strozinski. Jeffries has pitched well throughout this game, but he did run into a little bit of trouble early on. He had to deal with base runners in each of the first 3 innings. Gave up the run in the 3rd, but ever since that run scored, he has been lights out. He's retired the last 9 men consecutively as Strozinski fouls it away for strike 1. Trying to make it 3 straight perfect innings here. The 0-1 pitch. Ball low, 1-1. Tyler Strozinski, the right fielder for Trinity, right-handed batter, wearing number 24. Grew up in Dyer, Indiana. In school now down in Palos Heights, Illinois. There's a high fly out to shallow center. Coming in on that ball is Mahalik, and he gets there to make the play. Inning over, a very quick 1-2-3 inning worked by Tom Jeffries. He has retired 10 in a row. And we head to the bottom of the 6th with our scores. St. Francis 2, Trinity Christian 1. Bottom 6, St. Francis now nursing a 1-run lead, 2-1. Mahalik, Mampy, and Farron do up this inning, and Pat Mahalik takes strike 1. Mahalik made the catch to end the last inning. He gets to bat to begin this inning. 0 for 1 in the game with a fly out to his counterpart in center. He is quickly in an 0-2 hole here. Mahalik walked his first time up, but was stranded at first base. Saints did not get a runner to second in the first 4 innings. Strike 3 called over the outside corner. Mahalik goes down looking. 3 pitches all in similar spots. And Mahalik frozen at all 3 of them. Here we are in the 6th inning of a game in which Clay DeHaan has pitched very well. He's only allowed 2 runs on 4 hits, only 1 earned run through 5 innings. Despite as well as he has pitched, that's his first strikeout. Kevin Mampy takes strike 1. Ball inside. Count is even. Game 1, likewise, the Saints did not get a runner to second base in the first 4 innings. They scored 2 in the 5th. They ended up winning 2-0. Mampy drives that ball deep down the left field line, but foul. It's 1-2. So in this game, nothing much going on in the first 4 innings. They scored 2 in the 5th, and again, they have taken the lead. Game 1, it was a little bit easier to hold on to that lead because they only had to do so for 2 more innings. Ball inside, 2-2. Now they've got 9 innings to play, so even with the 1-run advantage, Trinity Christian has 3 chances to come back and tie or take the lead away. Ground ball to second base. The throw to first is in time from Wood. 4-3, 2 down. DeHaan has had 1 perfect inning today. It was the 3rd. Trying to turn the same trick here in the 6th. They'll have to get Anthony Farron. Farron's had a tough day at the plate. 0 for 2 in the game with a couple of groundouts, including a double play in the 4th that ended that inning. Farron is 0 for 5 as part of the doubleheader with a strikeout and 2 double plays. Ball 1 inside. Farron trying to make amends in this at-bat. Keep the inning alive. Popped up down the right field line. Foul and out of play. 1-1. If the junior first baseman, Anthony Farron, can reach base here, it'll be Michael Queerum. If not, we go to the 7th. Grounded to short. Should be an easy play for Kolb. He sets his feet, guns it to first, and the inning is over. 1, 2, 3 go the Saints in the 6th. And DeHaan bounces back from a rocky 5th. Start mowing them down again. We've played 6, 3 innings to go. 2-1 St. Francis. St. Francis has 3 more innings to try to protect their 1-run lead. This might be the toughest one of all. The 7th, they'll have to go up against Kolb, Wood, and Nisley, the 3, 4, and 5 batters, and Kyle Kolb takes strike 1. Kolb, a .487 hitter coming into play today. He's 0 for 2 with a flyout and a ground out. He takes a ball off the outside corner from Tom Jeffries. Jeffries has been excellent. 6 innings pitched, 1 run allowed on 4 hits. 3 of the 4 hits have been singles. Hasn't let anybody reach since the 3rd inning. Swing and a miss from Kolb way out in front of that breaking ball. Nearly spun around like a top on that swing. It's 1-2. Righty versus righty here. Jeffries trying to put him away. Grounded to third. Queerum has it. He throws to first. And Kolb is retired. This game has moved at a very quick pace, and the reason for that is that both pitchers have been retiring a lot of batters, which is always a recipe for a quick game, but more importantly, they're doing it quickly. Not a lot of long at-bats in this game. Austin Wood stands in and takes a ball outside. We saw last inning, Pat Mahalik struck out looking. It was the first strikeout of the game for Clay DeHaan. Tom Jeffries, who's been just as good, if not maybe a little bit better than DeHaan in this game, doesn't have any strikeouts. Ball high, 2-0. Can't remember the last time I saw a pitcher's duel like this in which there was only one strikeout through 6 innings combined. That ball lined into left center field, a base hit. Mahalik comes over and cuts it off on one hop, holding Wood to one base, but the tying run is aboard with 1 out in the 7th. And that snaps a string of 11 straight set down by Jeffries.
Number 21, Alex Nisley.
So it's Alex Nisley's turn now. He's 1 for 2 with a bunt single back in the 2nd inning. Grounded out to short in the 4th, and now he bats for the 3rd time. Strike 1 called on Nisley. Not many strikeouts in this game, but there have not been very many walks either. DeHaan has issued 2 of them. Jeffries not a 1. Hard grounder to 3rd and out of the reach of a diving Mike Queerum down the line. Another base hit. Rounding 2nd, heading for 3rd is Wood. The throw comes in high, and the high throw allows Nisley to take 2nd base. Actually, it wasn't the high throw. It was the fact that the throw was coming into 3rd at all. Nisley did a good job reading it, recognizing that throw was coming to 3rd. He never slowed down around first base. And so now they're at 2nd and 3rd with only 1 out, and Jake Thole is the hitter. A good throw from left field may have had Wood at 3rd base there. It was going to be a close play for sure, but the throw airmailed Mike Queerum. Thole swings the first pitch, grounds it to 3rd. The runner's going to try to score, and they'll get him in a rundown. Rada chases him back to 3rd, now being sent towards the plate. Jeffries is running him down now, and he's going to let himself get tagged out because Nisley had crept in behind him and took 3rd base. Heads up base running by Thole there. He made it all the way into 2nd, so it's the same position they were in, 2nd and 3rd, but now there are 2 outs as Austin Wood is thrown out at the plate. Nice work by the Saints, well executed by Mike Queerum. He didn't throw the ball too soon. He made Wood commit to going home before he threw the ball to the catcher. And that's always the key in a big situation, a big rundown situation like that. So 2 outs now, but the tying run's still just 90 feet away. So Jeffries is not out of the woods here as he faces Sam Herzog. Herzog swings the first pitch, grounds it to the right side, sliding stop by Peterson. He throws the first and the inning is over. So one moment, there's runners at 2nd and 3rd and only 1 out, and the Saints are in big trouble. And the next moment, the inning's over on just 3 pitches. He retires, rather 2 pitches, he retires Thole and Herzog. Both men ground out on the first toss. And we're headed to the bottom of the 7th at the stretch. It's 2-1 St. Francis. We're into the bottom of the 7th. St. Francis still has a 1-run lead, but they survived a scare in the top half of this inning, so I think they'd like to add a little insurance if they can. Mike Queerum leads things off, bunts it down the third base line. Nisley charges bare hands, throws to first base. It's wild, and Queerum is aboard with a leadoff single. Nice play by Nisley. Made a good bare-handed play, but his throw to first base was not strong enough to retire Queerum. Leadoff batter reaches on a bunt base hit. Queerum now 2 for 3. Both times he's reached, in fact. It has come on the first pitch of the inning. He's been good at jumping on Clay DeHaan early. Here's Kevin Rada, 1 for 1 with a single and a sacrifice. He'll try to bunt again. Popped up in the air, right side foul. Strike 1. Rada did not have a sacrifice all season coming in, and now he's trying for his second of the game. Last one led to a run scoring. We'll see if he can do it again. Short lead from Queerum at first. Pitches outside for a ball. Catcher John Roberts looks down to first but does not make a throw. St. Francis has outscored Trinity Christian so far 4-1 through nearly 14 innings of baseball today. Ball low, 2-1. Remember, yesterday they played 10 innings of baseball, and there were a combined 36 runs scored. Today we've seen 5 in 2 games. It's been pretty crazy, just the differences between one day and the next. There's a wild pitch. Wild pitch advances Michael Queerum to second base, and now he doesn't even need the Rada bunt to get him into scoring position. That said, Rada bunting might be even more beneficial here. So we'll see with a 3-1 count if Brian Mahalik does have him dropping one down or if he wants to let him swing away with a hitter's count here. Queerum takes his lead. Rada's not bunting. He grounds it to third and out to left field. Nisley can't pull it in. Base hit for Kevin Rada. Queerum up to third base. They're at the corners with nobody out. So after Trinity Christian threatens to tie and maybe even take the lead in the top half of the inning, the Saints seem to have recognized the need for more runs. Noah Carraro in to pinch run at first base. He's the courtesy runner for Kevin Rada. Carraro at first, Queerum at third. 6 hits now for each side, 2-1 St. Francis. 1 error for Trinity, none for the Saints, and that error is actually the difference in the game. Ball low and away, 1-0. John Peterson scored on an error on a Travis Schoonover ground ball back in the 5th. 1-0 on Peterson. He swings and fouls it away, 1-1. John Peterson has been one of the big offensive stars all day. He's got 2 RBI singles in the doubleheader, and he has scored 2 runs. He's been directly involved with every run that the Saints have scored in these 2 games. Ball inside, 2-1. Just 4 runs total in 14 innings, but it's still impressive. One guy's been in on all of them. Ball outside, 3-1. Don is maybe starting to tire a little bit. He's gotten somewhat wild here in the 7th inning. He's thrown 6 balls and only 4 strikes. And there's another ball outside. He walked him. The bases are loaded with nobody out for Nick Dabrowski. Third walk issued in the game by DeHaan. And again, 7 of 11 pitches this inning have missed the zone. There is no room for error here. There's no bases open. Dabrowski is 0 for 1 with a flyout. Bunted the runner up his last time at the plate. Here's a foul ball off to the right side, not a play. Strike 1 on Dabrowski. Dabrowski, the senior, trying to pick up some RBIs here on Senior Day. takes a ball outside, 1-1. Two-year player here at St. Francis. 3:25 coming into today's game. He takes a ball outside, and the count is 2-1 in favor of the hitter. Again, Dahan has trouble throwing strikes. He falls behind another batter. 9 balls, 5 strikes this inning. And the bases are full. There's a tapper back to the mound. Dahan comes home for 1. Roberts' throw to first is in time. 1-2-3, double play. Boy, did he ever need that. A huge out, huge 2 outs for Clay Dahan. Quirum and Dabrowski are retired. The other 2 runners move up. Carraro's at third. Peterson is at second. So Dahan is not out of the woods yet. We'll see if it is him facing Travis Schoonover here. There's a meeting on the mound. The entire infield gathers in. We'll see what decision is made here. Schoonover is 1 for 3 with an infield single. Carraro's at third. Peterson's at second. And they will stick with Clay Dahan to face Travis Schoonover.
Travis Schoonover.
So Schoonover can break this game open in a major way with a base hit. If Dahan is able to retire him, he can carry a little momentum with his team into the 8th as they try to come back from 1 run down. Big at bat here. Schoonover swings the first pitch and slaps it into left field. This will score at least 1, and here comes number 2. Peterson crosses the plate. It's a 2-run base hit for Travis Schoonover. And the Saints have extended their lead. It's now 4-1. Travis Schoonover now 2 for 4 in the ball game. And he picks up RBIs number 38 and 39 for the year. Actually, he had 1 in game 1, so make it 39 and 40 for the year, surpassing Kevin Mampy as the team leader. Here's Sean Harper, the man at first, 2 gone. Harper takes ball 1. Harper has gone 0 for 3 in the game. He was robbed his last time up. Hit the ball well out to left field, but Morgan Nowitzki made a very nice diving catch to prevent him from reaching base. Harper's also grounded out to third base twice. 2-0, ball low, 3-0. There's a strike over the outside corner. 3 balls, 1 strike on Harper. Schoonover over at first. Saints' lead now is 3. 2 runs in the 5th, 2 in the 7th. It's their biggest lead of the entire day. And there's ball 4 low. Harper walks. Second walk of the inning issued by Dahan, and that might do it for him with Pat Mahalik coming up. Dahan has clearly lost something here in the 7th inning. Falling behind every hitter. He's given up 2 walks and 3 base hits. The only man he retired was Nick Dabrowski. He grounded it back to the mound, and it turned into a 1-2-3 double play, so he was able to get 2 outs with 1 pitch. But hasn't been able to get any other outs this inning. He will stay in the game to face Mahalik. First pitch swinging, it's fouled to the right side, 0-1. Seven hits in the game now for the Fighting Saints. 3 of them have come in the 7th inning. Mahalik, the 7th man to come to the plate. Ground ball to the left side. Charging it is the shortstop Kolb. Off balance throw to first. Mahalik is out, just barely out at first. Close play, but a beautiful play by Kyle Kolb to end the inning. The inning ends, but not before 2 runs score on 3 hits. A couple of men left on base. We head to the 8th. St. Francis 4, Trinity Christian 1. 4-1 now. The Saints have their biggest lead of the game as Tom Jeffries heads back to the mound and fires strike one to John Roberts. Jeffries has been excellent in today's contest. There's a liner to right field and a base hit, a soft line drive off the bat of the catcher John Roberts. Leadoff man is aboard here in the 8th. Roberts' first hit of the day, or rather first hit of the game. Actually, it's the first hit of the day too. Went 0 for 3 in game 1. He's 1 for 2 here in game 2. And the batter is Morgan Nowitzki. And that hit a little bit easier to tolerate knowing that it's a 3-run game for Jeffries now. It was a 1-run game the last time he was on the mound. Pitched out of a big jam in the 7th with runners at 2nd and 3rd and only 1 out. He did not allow a run, got back-to-back groundouts. First pitch breaks into Nowitzki for a strike. Saints gave Jeffries a little extra cushion in the bottom of the 7th with 2 more runs. 0-1 on Nowitzki. Sharp liner to left, a base hit. Back-to-back hits open the 8th inning. Roberts is at second now. Nowitzki is at first. Soft single to right for Roberts, a hard single to left for Nowitzki, and now the tying run's coming back up to the plate. And it's the top of the order. Chris Baker steps in.
Center fielder, Chris Baker.
Baker's got the only RBI of the game for Trinity Christian, a single back in the 3rd inning that brought home Sam Herzog. Saints will get some action going down in the bullpen. Hunter Morawski is loosening down the left field line. Jeffries has been very good through 7+ innings. He had retired 11 in a row into the 7th before he gave up back-to-back hits. Now 4 of the last 6 batters have reached on safeties. Ball 1 high on Chris Baker, 1-0. That little extra cushion they provided in the bottom of the 7th looking bigger with every at-bat. Baker takes a strike over the outside corner, 1-1. One and one. Baker takes high. Corner infielders are coming in. Just looking out for that bunt from Baker. He has not shown any indication that that's what he's going to be doing here. They're just trying to play it safe, but now they do back up. First baseman Anthony Farron behind the runner at first. Baker hits it high in the air out to deep right field, but well foul. Two and two. Nobody out. Jeffries is looking for the ground ball here. That could maybe get him a double play. Baker fists it foul to the left side. Still 2 and 2. Chris Baker does run well, as we've seen a couple of times already in today's game, so a ground ball certainly does not guarantee 2 outs. That's what Jeffries is looking for here. 2 and 2 count. He wouldn't mind a strikeout. It would be his first of the day if he can get it. 32 innings coming in. Jeffries had only 13 strikeouts, 16 walks. Today he's got none of either. Ground ball to second base, hard hit. Peterson from one knee throws to second for one. Mampy to first. It's a double play. Exactly what Jeffries was looking for right there. 4-6-3. And Baker does run well, but that ball was hard hit and right at Peterson. So a relatively easy turn for the Fighting Saints infield. Roberts advances to third on the play. But Nowitzki and Baker are retired, and the tying run no longer in the batter's box now as Tyler Srozinski comes up. Srozinski hits it in the air out to deep left field. Harper chasing it back to the warning track. Harper can't make the grab. It's off his glove, and it ricochets off the wall. Srozinski around second base, heading for third, and he will make it in standing up with an RBI triple. Good effort from Sean Harper, chasing it deep to left field. He got his glove on it, just couldn't quite make the play. And it's a 4-2 game. And now Now the tying run will come back up. So that double play was huge. The fact that they were to double up Baker at first base means that the tying run is not standing 90 feet away with one out now. Instead, it's a two-run game still. There are two outs. And then Brian Mahalik comes out to talk with Tom Jeffries. We'll see if he grabs the ball from him. Morawski has been loosening in the bullpen for the last few minutes and may be about ready to go. Hunter Morawski has a couple of saves this year. Perhaps looking for number 3 in a few minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, a missing foul has been found.
I'll stick with Jeffries for now. They'll let him face Kyle Kolb for the 4th time. 3 hits this inning for Trinity. John Roberts started off the inning with a single and scored on a Tyler Strozinski triple. Or rather, Brandon Riemersma scored on the triple, the courtesy runner. Strike 1 over the outside corner on Kolb. 16th run scored this season by Brandon Riemersma. Strike over the outside corner, 0-2. And the reason that's notable, those 16 runs scored in 3 at-bats. That's his main job, pinch running. Got the job done this time. The 0-2. Just off the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Could be the last batter that Jeffries faces in the game. Wouldn't mind going out on a strikeout. It would be his first of the day. 1-2 to Kyle Kolb. Fouled back. Tough man to punch out, though. Kolb has struck out only 15 times this season in 154 at-bats. One and 2. Popped up, shallow right field towards the line. Long run, Schoonover, lays out and can't make the catch. It drops in fair territory just inside the line. 1 run scores, the throw comes to second, and Kolb is out at second base. The run counts. He crossed the plate before Kolb was tagged out at second. Trying to stretch a single to a double. Schoonover could not make the initial play, but throwing back to second base, he gets the out and ends the inning. Trinity has to settle for just 2 runs in the top of the 8th, and St. Francis stays on top. 4-3 is our score heading into the bottom of the 8th inning. St. Francis is up by 1 once again. After Trinity Christian scored 2 in the top of the 8th, Saints looking to add to their 1-run advantage as Kevin Mampey swings the first pitch of the inning and fouls it away. Saints were up 2-1. They scored 2 more in the bottom of the 7th on a big 2-out base hit by Travis Schoonover. And what a big 2 runs those turned out to be. Popped out to right field by Mampey, drifting back to the warning track at the wall. That ball is caught by Tyler Strozinski. That ball just kept going and going. Looked off the bat like it might be a routine play out to right field, but Strozinski kept drifting and made it all the way to the fence before he made the catch. regardless of how deep it went, it is an out. Fly ball to right field, and Farron bats with one down, nobody on base. Farron is 0 for 3, 3 groundouts. He shows bunt on the first pitch here, but takes the pitch as it sails over his head for ball 1. Top of the 8th inning, Trinity Christian scored 2 more runs to cut the deficit back to 1. Strike over the outside corner, 1-1. Fly ball to right field, down the line. Strozinski into foul territory is out of room. Strike 2. Kyle Kolb was thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double at the end of the 8th inning, top of the 8th. Huge for several reasons. Another fly ball by Farron to right field. Strozinski again towards the line, into foul territory, can't make the play. I don't know if he lost that ball in the sun or if the wind played tricks on him there. It looked like Strozinski initially had a beat on it. And he was lucky that ball dropped in foul territory, because he lunged for it at the last second after apparently either losing it or misjudging it. And couldn't make the grab, but it was just foul. So it's still 1-2 on Anthony Farron. He drives this ball out to deep left center field. Baker and Nowitzki back on the move forward, and it's between them. Into the left center field gap all the way to the warning track. Farron has himself a 1-out double. First hit of the day for Anthony Farron. And it is double number 12 for the season. Here's Michael Quirum. Quirum 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and a run scored. Pinch runner for Farron at second base. Noah Carraro is back in. Second time we've seen Carraro as a pinch runner in this game.
Pinch runner, second base, number 3, Noah Carraro.
That play at second base was big, first of all, because it ended the inning. Secondly, because Kolb is now out, and we don't have to see him, presumably, in the 9th. And Austin Wood will not bat with a man on base. Ground ball to third base, hit by Quirum. Runner heads for third, and he is thrown out at third base, so it's a double play. Alex Nisley retires Quirum at first base 5-3. Carraro a little over-aggressive, took off from second after the throw to first, but Sam Herzog fired back across the diamond, so you get a 5-3-5 double play, ending the inning. So the Saints do not add to their lead. They'll have to settle for the 1-run advantage as we head to the 9th. 3 outs away from a doubleheader sweep. It's 4-3. Saints. St. Francis is trying to take their third straight game from Trinity Christian. They are just 3 outs away. They'll have to get through Austin Wood, Alex Nisley, and Jake Thole. And the man called on to get those 3 outs is Hunter Morawski, on for the 11th time, all in relief. He's 0-1 with a 3.45 ERA. The right-hander has 2 saves, looking for number 3. In 15 2/3 innings, he's allowed 7 runs, 6 of them earned on 14 hits, 10 strikeouts, 6 walks. Opponents are batting .241 this season against Hunter Morawski, who starts Austin Wood off with a ball. Senior Tom Jeffries was excellent through 8 innings, allowed just 3 runs. Fouled back off the screen, 1-1. Gave up 10 hits total. 6 of them came in the last 2 innings. Now it's up to the freshman to try to finish it off for him and get Jeffries that win. Fouled away, 1-2. If Morawski can get these final 3 outs, it's win number 3 for Jeffries this season. He has not lost a game, and that will continue regardless of what happens in this 9th inning. He cannot lose. Wood is 1 for 3 in the game with a single. Foul tips it here, still 1-2. He was on third base, representing the tying run at a big moment back in the 7th inning. He was thrown out at the plate on a fielder's choice, trying to score on a ground ball to third. One and 2 the count. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit for Wood, and the tying run reaches base again. Trinity Christian certainly has made it interesting. They lost game 1 2-0, but they put the tying run on base in each of the last 2 innings. And here in game 2, they've been down ever since the bottom of the 5th, but they have not gone quietly. Put 2 men on base in the 7th. They scored 2 runs in the 8th. And now here they are in the 9th. With the tying run on first base, nobody out. The very dangerous third baseman Alex Nisley at the plate. A .340 batter. Squares up to bunt here. Takes the ball outside. A win here for St. Francis would move them 2 games ahead of Trinity Christian in the conference standings and guarantee that they would finish higher than the Trolls this year. Remember, they entered play today tied with St. Xavier, Roosevelt, Robert Morris, and Trinity Christian. And Olivet Nazarene just 2 games back. So theoretically, still in it for number 2 spot as well. 1-0. Bunts it up in the air, foul on top of the Trinity dugout. Count is 1-1. Three runs, 11 hits, 1 error for Trinity. 4-8-0 for St. Francis. Another popped up bunt. Diving catch made by Morawski. 1 away. That ball would have gone foul, but it was, I think, going to land in fair territory. So Morawski on the dive made it all or nothing, because if he had let it drop, it most likely would have landed fair and then bounced foul. But by diving for it, if he could not catch the ball, he would have touched it in fair territory and probably would have been a hit. So it was all or nothing there, and he got it all with a great diving catch. Nisley's unable to get the runner over, 1 down. Here's Jake Thole taking ball 1 high. It's the second time today that we've seen a diving catch made on a bunt. Something you don't see all that often. Thole is 0 for 3 in the game. He takes ball 2 high. Wood still at first base. Still a very dangerous runner over there. 2-0 pitch from Morawski. Downstairs, ball 3. Austin Wood this season has stolen 6 bases, but with a 3-0 count on Thole. No reason to see him on the move. Herzog stands on deck. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Thole takes a fastball for strike 1. St. Francis can even up their record at 25-25 with a win here. They have not been at 500 since they were 2-2 back on February 18th. And if they win today, they can still finish above 500 for the regular season, their final regular season match coming up on Tuesday evening against St. Ambrose. 3 balls and a strike. Jake Thole, right-handed hitting catcher, swings and fouls it away. It's full count. Top of the 9th inning, 1 out, 1 on. 4-3 St. Francis. They scored 2 in the 5th, 2 more in the 7th. Trinity scored their first run in the 3rd inning, and then 2 more in the top of the 8th. Payoff pitch, righty to righty. Runner goes, ground ball to short. Flip to second for 1. The relay throw is in time, and there's your ball game. 6-4-3. The runner was on the move, but that just carried the second baseman, John Peterson, over to second to cover the bag, with Kevin Mampy able to field that slick grounder quickly and get it over to him. An easy out at first base was number 3 in the inning. That inning with a bunt single. Kevin Rada followed with a single. Johnny Peterson walked. The bases were loaded with nobody out, but Clay DeHaan got Nick Dabrowski to ground into a big 1-2-3 double play. That left runners at second and third, 2 outs, and Travis Schoonover came up big. A 2-run single. Tom Jeffries went 8 innings, allowed 3 runs, all of them earned on 10 hits. He did not walk anybody. He did not strike anybody out. A weird game for Jeffries, but he improves to 3-0 for the season. Hunter Morawski picks up his 3rd save with a scoreless 9th. Losing pitcher is Clay DeHaan. He pitched well, but he falls to 2-3. And the complete game effort, he allowed 4 runs, 3 of them earned on 8 hits. He finished the game with just 1 strikeout, so just 1 total strikeout in today's game, despite the fact that there were only 7 total runs scored. It was a well-pitched ball game with only 1 K. He did walk 4 batters in the loss. Again, the final score, St. Francis 4, Trinity Christian 3 with the win. St. Francis now 25-25, trying to finish the season with a winning record with 1 game to go. They are 19-10 in conference. Trinity Christian falls to 27-21. They're 17-12 in conference play this year. That'll do it for this one. 1 game to go in the regular season before the conference tournament commences next Friday at Judson. St. Ambrose is the opponent on Tuesday night, 6 o'clock start time right here at home. Saints win the doubleheader 2-0 and 4-3. Until next time, this is Terry Bonadonna now signing off for the University of St. Francis. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.